45.
Looks like Tom Duncan.
Sounds like, must be a duck.
Jersey girls are the best.
Yeah.
What?
The bunny ears are back.
Hey guys, we are back for Laughing Underneath the podcast. We are still here in Orlando, Florida, Joe. Isn't this amazing?
Still just day one.
It's just amazing the energy in
incredible.
NAMMBA Connect. I mean, the people that are here.
Buzzing.
I mean, and we run into this lady named Liz Short. And we said, Liz, you got solutions for us. In fact, you've got short solutions.
That's right.
For long problems.
That's right. That's right. Very much so.
Is it hold on, is it short solutions for big problems or?
It's short solutions for any sort of problem, but we specialize in solving complex problems and making them easy.
And the other thing that I love about Liz is she tells dad jokes.
I love a good pun, that is for sure. Do not tee me up. I will definitely.
I'm gonna buddy, why didn't you? So Liz, I mean, you've been doing this stuff like finding solutions for problems with companies, specifically in the mortgage industry or outside the industry?
Specifically, I mean, I do it for all, but my background is mortgage specific. I have over 20 years in the mortgage industry, in almost all facets.
Yeah.
So I'm putting that to work, helping companies solve the complex problems that they have today.
Yeah, there's a lot of complex problems.
You're not kidding.
You look at the last couple of years and how not just the rate environment we're in, not just the hiring and firing, boom and bust kind of roller coaster ride most companies have been in, but there's also been like a huge increase in the amount of technology and options that are out there for these organizations. And I think these companies just get like you were saying, like shiny object syndrome, right? It's like send out an SOS. I've got so much out here. I want to get it. I want to get it now. I want AI in touching every part of my business today, Liz. How come? Do it for me.
Well, today's too slow. Yesterday.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because we've really come to a shift in our industry where we now not only embrace technology, but have to have it, right?
Yeah.
Up until this cycle, you really could get away with maybe a little more manual
Interesting.
stuff.
Okay.
I really do believe coming out of this new cycle, the new consumer expects the opportunity to have some sort of technology in their transaction. And that means that every mortgage company has to be a technology company, which is different than it used to be. It's a different game.
So let me ask you one question. Is that we're going to ask you a lot of questions. So let's start off. Yeah, that'd be a cool podcast. One question. Oh, you may just be. I'm going to write that down.
I love it. Keep me crying.
Hey, so look, when we talk about technology, right, and you talk about mortgage companies need to have technology, right? What happens to the company that says we're fine, or the loan officer? Let's go down to the loan officer level, right? Companies they're pushing technology, like we always talk about. Is the owners want to have the newest technology, right? But the loan officer's like, oh, I don't need a CRM.
Sure.
I got everybody right here.
Sure.
Right? I know everybody's rate. I know, and they all love me because I see them at the bowling alley every Saturday night.
That's right.
I think technology, either for an individual or a company, really gets down to the ability to scale, right? Sure, you can remember things. We can only remember so many things in our head. Sure, you can do everything at a company. We can only do so many things in a day. And so where is that balance? Because I believe in the option for high touch, right? I'm a person that wants to be able to call someone on the phone if I want to. So how do you use technology that helps your customers and your employees as well too, right? We all want to work in a way that feels efficient. Like getting out a piece of paper and just checking a box to check a box, which we are the best at checking the checker in this industry.
Whoa.
We use technology to make it faster, make it better all the way around. And I think that's the name of the game. How do you scale?
But who checks the technology then?
Well, I think that's
That's a fair question.
That's like literally.
and that's why you have to become a technology company today, right? It is not just a one-time implementation. You have to have a process.
That's so cool.
Wow.
You know, as you're saying that, the one thing that just stuck out to me is like the scaling piece, right? And people think scaling. When I hear scaling, I think scaling my business, but it's scaling you as an individual as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, you think about a time before email, right?
Yeah.
And sending letters.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not scalable. How many stamps do you want to lick, right?
I'll go back one further because I was in the mortgage business, right? I came in 1994, right?
Yeah.
We had one computer that had internet.
Isn't that wild?
Just
Yeah.
sign up for your time to check
So-
whatever was on there.
So these to your earlier point then, Fob, is like these companies that say, oh, I'm good. I'm not really a technology company. Yeah, you are. You've already done it and you continue to do it. So you're just not thinking about it in all the different ways that it makes sense for you and your business.
In a way though, Liz, I mean, so this is interesting because I was just watching this. I'm a huge geek for technology, right? People don't really know that about me, but I am. I love technology, right? But they're saying that technology changes the human brain, right? The way we actually think stuff, like, right? Like so weird. Like if you even think about a pen, well, before the pen like came around, how are you writing? Well, with tablets, right? Then a pen comes up and makes your life easier. So everything that technology does makes your life easier.
That's right.
So the mortgage company that thinks that they don't need technology may already be using it and just not even realize it.
Yeah.
Because they've already been raised into it.
Absolutely.
So how do they get to that next level of being open-minded enough to realize that, hey, I'm here, but in order to survive for the next 20 years, I got to get here.
Well, I think the first thing to admit is it's okay to not necessarily have all the answers, right? You're really good at running a mortgage company. You're really good at hiring a sales team. That's great. Find some experts that you can rely on that can help you figure out how to scale that team. And that might be bringing on a full-time employee. That might be hiring on a fractional leader who specializes in technology. That might be a consultant that comes in for a certain period of time. But you got to find the right resources that can help you play this new game.
So companies we're notorious for implementing new technology. What are trying to at least, right? what are you finding and you're seeing as you're talking to all these different mortgage companies, banks, and credit unions? What are you seeing the biggest failure point is these organizations today?
Sure, I'm going to get back to what I just said. Failure to properly make yours. Whether that's doing too many things at once, whether that's not having the right people in charge of implementing the project, whether that's a failure to understand that just turning the CRM on without training your sales team on why it's important isn't going to get it done, right? The change management starts before it goes live and well after it goes live. And if you want to see the true ROI of your technology, you have to understand your full resource and picture all the way around. And I mean, it's hard, right? I own my own company. I like new technology. It's hard not to sign the technology contract.
Yeah.
It's a shiny thing, right? But you have to really understand how is that achieving the goals that you've already set instead of now we're working our goals around this new big contract that we've signed and we have to see some value around.
Do you guys think it's possible for, I mean, it's so weird when I just even think about this, right? Is it possible for a company or a loan officer, well, let's just say company, stay away from loan officer for a second. Is it possible for a company to just avoid technology altogether in this day and age? I mean, seriously, like, could they really or minimize, okay, I'm just gonna have the LOS, I'm just gonna have a CRM, and that's it?
I mean, there's an outlier for everything, right? So the minute I say no, someone's going to say, well, Liz, there's this one person, right? It gets back to scaling. If you want to be a major player, if you want to continue to grow, if you want to dominate the mortgage market in this new cycle, which is what's so cool about this game, right? We have new people coming to the top every time. You got to be in technology. You have to figure out how you do it better, smarter, and how you're able to provide your customers and your employees the experience they want.
That's right. Right. It starts from a top down, right? I think from that executive level, you have to make that decision on what you want to do and how far do you want to go. Right, because it's not going to implement itself. It's not going to train your loan officers for you, right? Like you have to be thinking about the overall process. Yeah,
it takes time. It's not fun. It's not glamorous. You might not see some progress, but it's so important to get you over that finish line in the right way.
How do you handle the frustration levels? I mean, you're coming in when people are having problems.
Oh, for sure.
Right, so you're like the guy that comes in basically. One of my loan officers called me the other day, right? And she was like, "Hey, Fab, I have a question." I was like. I was a smart ass, right? I said, of course, you wouldn't be calling me if you didn't have a question.
For sure.
He was not calling me to say, hey, Fab, how are you? Is your day going well, boss? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're dealing with people who are frustrated, right? They don't like what's going on. You know, they bought a program called SocialCoach. It's not doing what it's supposed to do.
Social coach.
Sometimes. Yeah.
They're like, Liz, help. Yeah. How do you deal with that level of frustration on a regular basis?
Well, first of all, it's funny you say that. I always tell people you can call me before you sign the contract, but I usually get the call 6 months later.
Of course. Yeah. We've been paying for this. We're not using it. Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's listening, right? And I think once you've gotten to that point in the technology contract and you're that frustrated, the CEO, the executive feels like no one's listening to them, no one's hearing. And so just spending the time to listen, feel like they've been heard, and then let's boil down to what's the most important, and let's use that P word, prioritization, right? And so I think really a combination of listening and then small actionable steps that lets us get shit done helps people feel progress, see momentum, and lower those blood pressures a little bit so we can keep moving forward.
How do you define success then with the company? What's your definition? Yeah, how do you define it?
Well, I think we have to set goals at the beginning of what they're trying to achieve, and those have to tie into your strategy, right? If we're just implementing software because XYZ down the street has it or you did that, it's not a good point. And so we have to define what those goals are, and then we put timelines and action steps behind them to measure to them, right? I'm a firm believer in accountability, and that's another thing that people get wrong, right? You can't just say, hey, I want this done and expect your team to miraculously just implement it. You have to have check-ins, you have to have resourcing and be able to actually move things forward. And so success looks like defining goals and then making progress towards them. And listen, if we're not doing it,
So smart.
and talk about
That's
it.
so smart.
Yeah.
That's so smart. I love that. Let's talk about something really important, Liz. You're from Chicago.
Yeah, let's get to it.
The food in Chicago is amazing.
Thank you.
The show is called Laugh, Lend, and Eat.
Okay.
There's a reason that I picked those three things when I picked,
I love it.
right? I mean, your go-to food in Chicago.
Okay. Yeah.
What are we talking here?
100%. I'm a firm believer that Chicago has some of the best tacos in the whole
Top.
country.
So
I am going to say, throw your deep dish pizza aside, eat tacos.
throw the deep dish pizzas aside.
I don't like the deep dish. I
Throw
agree
the
with you on
deep
that
dish
one.
pizzas aside, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it right here from a Chicago native. That's what I've been saying for years. I love Lou, but he's got to go. It's over.
It's not great. It's not great.
Impressive we're talking
But by the way, our girl, Delilah Ramos, Taco Tuesday,
Yeah.
said the same thing. She said Chicago has the best tacos in the country.
100%.
Have you been to Southern California?
We have.
Yeah.
They're not that good. It's
Alright.
overrated. Avocados are better there. I'll give you guys that much.
You know,
You guys got
Much
much better
Look,
avocados.
there's an open invitation to come and experience what a real taco tastes
But
like.
you're gonna make it.
I'm not gonna make it. We're gonna go. There's
bringing Delilah.
there's
and
no-
taco off.
there's no way.
taco off.
There's just I'm putting this out there for everybody. There's absolutely no way.
You know how much
Chicago has better tacos.
you know how much of a foodie I am. Let me tell you how much of a foodie I am. Okay, this is for the record.
Just no way.
This is for the record. You got to hear the story, right?
No way.
I took my nieces and nephews and kids to Philadelphia one day, right? So we tried out the Philly cheesesteaks, right?
Love Philly.
Love that, right? So that day, I'm driving. I get this. I was like, I wonder if that guy in Arlington, Virginia, really does have a good Philly cheesesteak, like he says. So I drove from Philadelphia to Arlington, Virginia, where I live, and had a second one that night just to compare the two differences.
And
The guy in Philly was way better. There's no way there other guy.
and it
So-
wasn't Pat's or Gino's because those are terrible.
Overrated. There's
Yeah.
just tourist traps.
Yeah.
But Pat does have good bread. Give
Yeah.
Pat credit for the bread.
It's okay.
Right? I love the bread there. But what I think we got to do is have tacos in Chicago,
Love it.
then
Okay.
fly to Joe,
Get on an airplane.
and do it all in one day.
Hey, I love it.
If we're gonna do it the right way, you got to have the taste buds to compare.
I agree.
It's coming, right?
Okay, it's happening. This is the part where we cut this for social because I do want to know. I literally want to know what people's opinion is about this now.
No,
We gotta do it.
I really look. Food is so important to everybody. We're
Yeah.
here at a convention, right? I have had people say, "Hey, Fa, what are you gonna do for lunch? What are you gonna do for dinner? What are you gonna?" You know what I mean, if it's not exciting food, I'm like, I'm busy. I'm with Liz. You won't believe her. She booked at 3, now she's coming at 6.
That's hilarious. That's so funny.
But if it's something exciting, like I'm down. Like, let's go try it, right?
Yeah,
So food is an important part of life,
that's right.
and mortgage professionals understand food.
We do.
Right?
We really do. We know
She
where to
said
eat.
tacos. She didn't even say hot dogs.
Hot
Chicago's known for hot dogs. She didn't even go down that
And
road.
popcorn.
Oh, don't get me started on the Chicago popcorn.
Oh no, the cheese and the caramel.
No.
Not a
Are
fan.
you a Chicago native?
2.5 hours south.
Okay, so that's not bad. It's Indiana.
No, Illinois.
Illinois.
It's middle of cornfield.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
So that's fine. Yeah, I mean, that's like,
Legit enough.
Okay.
yeah.
I like it.
I mean, Joe, I think you're talking to a true Chicago native here.
It's great.
You
I
know?
love it. I love it.
You went from Philadelphia to the
I did.
West Coast.
I'm not a native Californian.
I'm a native.
Their tacos like you are, and that's what we love about you.
I was there.
I'm a DC native, Joe.
It's good for you.
You know what I
No,
mean?
you're not.
5 years in Pakistan, man. The rest of my life has been
4 years in Philadelphia then, so I'm a native Californian by your standard. So there you go.
52 years in Virginia,
Yeah,
DC
okay.
Metro. I mean, come on.
You got me beat on that.
And I gotta tell you, the food in DC Metro is amazing.
It is amazing.
We need to get some recommendations.
Yeah, I mean, you can eat anything you want there. But Chicago's got us beat when it comes to food.
We have real good food.
You got some great food, not good food.
Weather most of the year.
The weather is a little desirable. You know what I mean? So, guys, this has been an amazing episode.
Liz, thank you.
I hope you guys got some food tips here because you guys next time in Chicago. Liz, let's endorse somebody. Who would you recommend for tacos in Chicago? If
Oh my gosh.
I'm putting you on the spot, right? Come on.
Probably El Milagro
Where's El Milagro?
in Pilsen. In Pilsen.
All right, guys. Right? So, and if they mention your name, they get a 10% discount.
I mean, I don't know about that, but they'll get delicious tacos either way.
All right.
Liz, how can everybody get a hold of you?
Best place is on LinkedIn. I am the Liz Short on LinkedIn, and I put out original video content twice a week. So go follow me there.
Boom.
All right,
Love it.
guys. This was a great episode. JP, do your magic and get us out of here.
45.
Looks like Todd Duncan.
Sounds like, must be a duck.
Jersey girls are the best.
The bunny ears are back.